Hi everyone, welcome for a good ASMR map analyzing session. Map analyzing. And for this session, well, I put my hands on it, a very interesting map from 1880 related to which depicts the Northern Pacific Railway. Northern Pacific Railway route with all the stops and stations, and let's find out, let's analyze this map. It's made up by two pieces, so it would be somehow challenging presenting in this session, but we're gonna figure out how. The North Pacific Railway was a transcontinental railroad operated across the northern tier of western United States from Minnesota, and here we have Minnesota, from Minnesota, Minneapolis, to the Pacific Northwest. In our case, it's Portland, and even down. Well, so the mine was until Portland. Alright, good. The railroad stretches about 6,800 miles or 10,900 kilometers of tracks and served large areas, includes like Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota, Oregon, Washington, Wisconsin. The mine activities were shipping wheat and other farm products, cattle, timber, minerals. Well, this started in 63 and was done in 1883 and was the first transcontinental railroads in the United States. But let's start from the Pacific side, and we're gonna start from Portland. I will try to zoom to the max to see, maybe we can see the stations. Okay, so here the mine point, it's Portland. And after that it will continue down, but the next important stop from Portland taking to the east side, well, it's going now to the north, to the Kalama. And these small little dots here, they're also stops. I don't know if they are stations, but they are stops. And the next one after Portland, it's Kalama. Good. Down after that, it's going again north to these are the sections. This is the Washington State. So if I zoom out a little bit, you can see this is the Washington State. So let's zoom in back, and we have some stops here, like Lakeview, I can see. And after that, this is a turn point into Poma, and down it's starting to going east to Carbonado and Wickson, right? I think here it's a switch because it's going down to this city. Carbonado. After that, it's going to the Cascade. Cascade. I think this is a valley, maybe. I don't know the geography and zones in Washington State, so maybe if someone can confirm. Right, good. After it's going a little bit down, here are the mountains. We can see there are mountains depicted and some rivers. So, and this is the M division. I think the division is related to some portions of areas where some certain companies have built the railroad, because this is the map of the construction of railroad. M division, right? And we have a lot of stops. Very hard to spot, for example, because they are so tiny. And to make you an opinion about it, at the normal zoom, you can see that this is the normal zoom of the camera. And if I zoom max out, you see the size of my finger. Right, so again, good. Now we enter in the Idaho area, and here we have a switch, because here we have a city and it's like Paso. Maybe it's another El Paso, maybe in Washington. Good. Now it's going a little bit north, Idaho, on Idaho Valley and Franklin. So, and here there are some stops that can be read, like Lake Evia Wells, Provence, Lind. And I think this one, because it's particular, it's a big dot. Maybe it's a important station where the trains slow down or loads or unloads goods. It's Knitsville. I'm very curious to find out if these stations still exist today. Right, none. We are still in the Washington State. Here is the border. We'll continue with. So that was Knitsville and Sprague, Cherry, and Marshall. I think this is Marshall, right? Marshall, but the second L it's missing. So there are some important stops here. Now we are at the border of Washington State. Okay, this here, it's another division that built a part that was a transfer of building the railroad. So just named division. Right, and now we are switching and traversing Idaho State, Idaho, and we are approaching the Rocky Mountains. Alright, and now we're gonna enter in the Rocky Mountains area. Alright, so what we have here, because this is just a part of Idaho, just this part of Idaho, and now we are switching to another. We are entering in Montana. Montana, this is Montana here. Okay, so we are entering in the Montana state. Now this is the most interesting part, because here the line was built through the mountains and was the most challenging part. I think it holds the most tunnels in these parts, or Rocky Mountains. So we are entering Montana here at Heron, right? And Northern, so the first station is Heron in Montana. Good, now we are going a little bit south. And this is a small faulty by the map who just printed the first map, well, printed from pieces and was not aligned somehow correctly, but from this scale I think he did a better job than me. Alright, this one, now we are going to Montana, and we have an important stop at Missoula. I think it's Missoula. And alright, now there are a few stops here. And the next important stop, well, we have a switch here. I think it's Johnson. I don't know. It's too fade out to read the entire word. It's another division, and here it's a switch, and one part of the railroad is going south to the Jefferson country, to the Blord, right? And the mine railroad is continuing to the Hicklana, where we have another junction switch, and this one is going south to Wickend. Right, then everything goes through the mountains to a little bit south through the Jefferson, and here we have depicted mount. I don't know what mount is, maybe because it's another division, maybe. Those divisions are written here along the line track. Good. And the mine station here is Livingston. Again, we have a switch with an additional track. Well, this additional track is going south, right? Good. And the mine one is continuing east. Another division is going to east. We have Rapids, Park City Rapids, and another stop, important one, it's Billings. Right, good. And now we are gonna cross the Yellowstone. Well, this is is the famous Yellowstone Park line. And here it's a particular fact that I want to share with you, because the Northern Pacific Railway played a significant role in development of tourists in Yellowstone National Park. It constructed a branch of line from Livingston, Montana to Gardiner, Montana, which served as the northern entrance to the park. And Livingston here. And maybe the next one, it's Gardiner. And this was known as the Yellowstone Park line and facilitated easier access for tourists to visit the park. Okay, so we are on the Yellowstone. And we are going east. Well, here we can see that the line is somehow straight. And here we have Miles City. Well, this is an important stop or station for loading and unloading the cargo, the goods. Good. And after it's going a little bit north, and we are out of this map. So let's switch to the second map. Okay, now let's align them. Let's align them as much as I can. Yeah, so good, and I'm gonna zoom in. So I think now it's there aligned. Yes. And we are preparing to leave Montana and entering Dakota. We are entering Dakota. Right, and here we have the Missouri line. Right, now on this, on the yellow one, it's another state, which is Dakota. Alright, and now we're going, there is no important stop, just important station, just some stops here. And the first one is the big that it's Mandan, and here we have a big city, Bismarck. It's the city of Bismarck in Dakota. Well, that was Dakota there. Right. It was only Dakota before the switching between North and South Dakota. Alright, and so we stop at Bismarck. Good. Next, and it's we're gonna continue. Alright. This is the Dakota line, which is straight. We have no mountains here, and as you can see, this the line, the North Railroad Pacific line, it's crossing several counties in Dakota. Right, and the next important stop where we have some switches, it's once Youngstown. I think it's Janus, because here it's somehow again another margin. I think it's Youngstown, yes. Here one it's going to north part to Minnewacan, and another one. Here it's a switch, and another part of the line it's going south. and to the Corner Rapids. Here we have some sort of triangles, and the boat lines, the mine lines, and the secondary will meet again in Fargo. Good. But before Fargo, we have two other important switches, or no switches, stations. Well, this one it's Bunbourne, and another switch, and the part is going to Griggs. And the mine one, another stop is Barnes in Barnes County. Good. Now we're gonna leave Dakota and now we're gonna enter Minnesota. Right. So this with yellow is Dakota, North Dakota, and now we're gonna enter in Minnesota, which is with light depicted here, painted with light green. And the first station, well, we have here Fargo, which is in North Dakota, and next it's nearby another important station. It's Moorhead, I think, or Moorhead. It's Moor or Moon because I cannot see the letter correctly. I think it's an N or R, Moorhead. Right. And here it's the West Minnesota line. Right, good. In Minnesota, the first important stop or station is that cold. Right, and again, now it's continuing to the Vadacha. Well, here it's a switch. Let's see from where this one comes to this line. Well, this line is come from Milner. That's another city, Milner, in North Dakota. So this is another secondary line, and in the secondary line there are important cargo loads and unloads stations. So Wapperton, and here we have Breckenridge, and here it's Barga Falls. This line, it's the Black Hills Division, so this line it's named Black Hills Division. And the junction is in Wadena. And now it's come to the most important part because we are almost done. We are continuing with a mine switch in Brainerd. Well, here, what can I say is that the mine railroad track, it's splitting into, because it's a junction, a big junction. One it's going north and one is going south. Let's go ahead to the north a little bit to see where it goes, where it leads. And here it's the Min division, and we have a few stops. Here we have Atklin, and here we have Duluth. Here there is a lot of junction between these two kind of important stations. Right now we hit the Lake Superior. Here it's Lake Superior because what we can see here, it's in Duluth, it's that we have a mine station where the cargo is unloaded from the ships that are traveling are crossing the mine, the Lake Superior. We can see here the routes, and they're unloading and loading into the trains. Right, good. Right, and then the line is going to the Westave, which is this junction with, and we have the Asland. Right, here it's the mine stop, because you can see from here there are just only some secondary lines that are going further. But this is the mine stop in Asland and in Duluth. Well, good. Now we're from the mine junction, from the Brainerd. This was the north line. Now let's go to the south. Let's travel to the south to see, because we identified that the north part was specially developed to get to the point, to reach the point of Lake Superiors. Right, ports. The south one, it's Little Falls. Here it's another mine junction. Alright. And the next important cargo stop is Soak Rapids. And then we are going again south to the Elk River, another stop we can see here. Here we have pole division. Maybe someone pole was leading the build of that portion of the tracks. I don't know. And Anuka, it's another important stop. And we reach our most important destination, which is Minneapolis in Minnesota. Minneapolis, which is the mine stations and the final point of the cargo holds. But from here it's splitted. The rails tracks is split between like a nerve, like some veins drove out to the south. See, and if we can see from this point of view, from this view scale, some of them, they are leading to the another lake, which is Lake Michigan, and another point where it starts is Milwaukee. So, but we have here some secondary lines because they are thinner than the mine one. So Yellowstone, right? And here, of course, we have Chicago, and we can see this is another point, but this is not considered. I don't know if it's considered. Maybe you can correct me, because these lines are somehow thinner than the mine one, so all of them, they are leading to Minnesota, yeah. And from Minnesota, it's starting the mine railroad track. Now, at the end, there are some innovation that this railroad track added to the areas where it crossed. One of them is the telegraph innovations, because Northern Pacific Railroad line was among the first railroads to employ telegraphy extensively for communications and signaling signaling across the tracks. In another very important fact, it's that in World War II, during the Second World War, the Northern Pacific Railway was the main transporting route of troops and equipment and supplies from military bases from the west coast to the east coast. So the railroad, extensive network, and logistical capabilities were essentials. Right, and now a very interesting map. And if you are from the areas that where the railroad is crossing now, please come drop some comments below. I'm curious to find out some details about it. Maybe the rail has crossed or is crossing one of your cities or counties. With this said, I wish you all the best, and of course, until next time, don't forget to subscribe if you aren't, and please leave some comments below.